used to actually send notes on Pigeon Speak.
And don't forget, it ain't the first 48 with 60 minutes.
Cover the king, best not list. Even the score now, we need to score now. Back on that wall, when you hear that call, you know it's going down. We play from beginning to ending, you know how we finish. Front of the bank, gotta handle our business. We need the ball, so it's time to go get it. Play with your heart when you hit, make it feel you with. You know I'm with. You come to the bank and get out of line, we sending a blitz. Said who you with? You know I'm with. That purple and black, and when we attack, you know what it is.
You're now locked into Count Zone 32. 32.
I just want to see how long y'all stare. And we're back.
I'll last you any day.
Another episode on Zone 32, episode 1423. We got Drew Band, Will, and I'm back after a hiatus.
So we're actually adding a new member to the podcast here. I don't know if you guys are familiar. This is Grant. He's been on the podcast a few times before, and then was off for about 2.5 years. But he's back now. So everybody say what's up to Grant. Yeah,
Blessing to
I don't
be
know.
here.
We
Great
were.
opportunity.
It's a blessing to be here. You
Yeah,
want
blessing
to
to be
talk
here.
about
Great
that
opportunity.
fucking. You want to talk about that shit show on Sunday? That was. It's a blessing to be here talking about that.
Where do you want to start? I mean,
I don't know,
top
because
to
typically we have a moderator here. The moderator who texts everybody, be like, we should get raw reaction to the game, and we should do it tonight. And then all of a sudden, he's like, oh,
well, damn the moderator. He'll be here at 6:45 Pacific Standard Time. Whatever the fuck.
I hear that
But,
he's in his basement seeing if he can melt some steel beams with jet fuel.
Yeah, he's doing
what I've heard.
experiments. He's doing
So-
some scientific experiments.
Well, I mean, if you want to start off, then you have to start off with the fact that the 77 should never step foot on a football field ever again. And the fact that we continuously as fans have this conversation over and over and over again. And the coaching staff is gaslighting the shit out of us in a sense of they think that we don't watch the game or understand what our blocking assignment is. So
should we shout out Ruth? Apparently Daniel Falale's mother is on Twitter. I've never interacted with her in my life. I had no idea that she had an active Twitter account, but she does. She blocks everybody. So at least somebody in the family can hold a block. I would say is a shocking revelation.
How is anybody not? How is there anybody left at this point? There's not anybody saying good things about Falale online, is there?
And you know what? Part of me, and we kind of said something a little bit about it yesterday, but part of me almost feels bad for the dude. Yeah, he's not good. We know that. Everybody knows that, but they keep trotting him out there, and you putting Lamar's health on the line. You're putting, our ability to make the playoffs on the line, and people can act like, oh yeah, well, one offensive lineman does not matter that much. Yes, it absolutely does, especially an interior offensive lineman. Where they literally know to attack him, and we cannot stop it. A basic twist makes him look like he's in a spin cycle.
I mean, so that last play of the game, I wish I had Will download the clip so we could just do it in slow motion. He legitimately takes out 3 people on that play. He takes out one Steeler, and he throws that one Steeler into Linderbaum and Voorhees. And he's all proud of himself because he's holding the block. Meanwhile, it's a stunt, and Hayward comes in untouched. And then who was it? Highsmith that just fucking murdered Stanley.
Yeah.
And ends up making the play. But it's That's every play with him. Actually, the second play of the game I was watching, I was like, holy shit, Flaley held a block. He looks great. And then like a play later just got fucking blown up. And again, same shit the rest of the game. He sucks. Like, I don't want to say I feel bad for him because he's a professional athlete and he's making millions of dollars to play football. But like at the same time, it's not his fault that he's starting. Like, he's not capable of starting, and the coaches continue to put him in there, and he's terrible. But like, he is what he is. Like, I can't really blame him for sucking at football. I blame the coaching staff for continually allowing him to play. Harbaugh went on the mic today and said that, he thought the offensive line played well and that they were, I think excellent was his exact term for run blocking, and that they were inconsistent in the pass game. And it's like, John,
Exceptional.
there was nothing they did that was good. There was 2 to 3 good reps for the entire line. And then other than that, it was just like getting beat every fucking play. You don't typically see Lamar have, reactions to anything. I would say that interception he threw was horrific and just like a dumb decision with the ball that you don't normally see him make. But then to see his reaction to it, like I think he's confused. I think he's fed up. He's sick of it, and he doesn't know how to fix it.
Well, he's not
And,
healthy.
like-
He's going out there putting it on the line to try to help his team win. And you got the coaching staff just being completely incompetent intentionally. It's got to be intentional. There's no way that there are NFL coaches with that much tenure that don't see the issues. And you can't tell me like Bullock looked good in preseason. Like, you can't tell me plugging him in isn't better than Voorhees or Falele right now. They're both 2 of the worst guards in football right now. So
Yeah, and Harbaugh
huge
said
drop
Emory
off there.
Jones. I think his exact quote was that, they saw Emory Jones last week and he doesn't bring anything better than what Voorhees is giving them.
That's
And
a
I'm like,
crock of shit.
I'm just like, this is where I struggle with John. I think you and I had this discussion today is like, is he, a master manipulator and he's just like blatantly lying to us because he thinks he's smarter than all of us? Or is he actually like so broken in the brain that he believes his own shit now? Like, has he been saying shit uncontested for a decade and nobody pushes back on him? So now he just believes everything that he thinks with no pushback, no like critical thinking, no ability to like understand it's not working, Oh, where the fuck did Will go?
Hotel Wi-Fi went out.
Yeah, probably.
But
I
no,
don't know. I find it. I don't even know if like fascinating is the right word. I find it incredibly interesting that John has been operating for a decade with no checks and balances at this point, and like nobody to call him on his bullshit. I mean, going into last year, you put Warhop in as the offensive line coach because of a tragedy. You didn't expect Jody to die during camp, and so like that's an unforeseen circumstance. You season's a couple weeks away. Like, you don't have time to go out and vet and hire a new offensive line coach. So I get it. You just kind of put like the closest guy there and see what happens. But then you go into the offseason knowing that he sucked at his job, knowing that the offensive line was a problem. You don't replace him. You did go out and draft a guard. You signed, Keon Green, I think. Holy shit. And we got Max here.
Yeah. I had a little
can't-
internet issue. Sorry about that.
No, we
Yeah, a little
figured.
internet issue because you're trying to add me for my cameo appearance and you fucked up. Come on now.
Go
You
ahead,
gotta stay
Matt.
sharp.
I'm on hotel internet.
Oh, okay. All right. Never mind.
So,
Oh.
Max, this is your. We have a rare occurrence here. Grant actually showing up to the
Oh,
podcast.
wait, no, I
Max
can't hear anybody.
The
We're off
tech
to a
guy
hot start.
doesn't know how to operate tech.
Oh, fuck.
Max edits. Max
Drew's still
edits and
talking.
uploads all our videos.
I can't hear
figure
him.
out how to. You can't hear me. Hello. Are we live still?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
live.
Testing? Oh, so it's just Max. Just Max that can hear.
Yeah.
The fucking
Yeah.
tech guy can't figure out StreamYard. That's kind of concerning. But just like John Harbaugh can't figure out how to coach a football team. So there's a lot of symbolism here.
Well, we talk about it all the time, and it's been a common discussion for a lot. I want to stand on my soapbox and say that I've been saying for 10 years that guy can't coach his way out of anything. And we've known for 8 at least that if Lamar Jackson doesn't step in 2018, he's fired. if he doesn't have the most miraculous football player in the NFL, he's fired already.
I
And
mean, credit to John for making that change and knowing that his ass is on
but
the
what
line.
did it take? Remember, he was on the hot seat, and the whole thing with that is Bisciotti basically told him he finally stepped in, rumored he finally stepped in to make the change, but Harbaugh didn't want to get off Flacco. He did not want to make the change with Flacco.
John is not built to coach a team with superstars on it because superstars come with, outside support and, franchise player potential. The Ravens dump a lot more money into Lamar Jackson than they do into John Harbaugh. And so, at some level, Steve Biscotti's going to look at Lamar and be like, this is the guy, Biscotti. I was wondering how far into my next sentence I would make it before somebody said something. But, Steve has put $250 million into Lamar. You know what I mean? That's $250 million investment into Lamar. And if he comes out and feels a certain type of way and it goes against John, I feel like Steve's got to side with Lamar there. And so you put John in this weird spot of like, he doesn't like dissenting voices. He doesn't like people who don't do what he wants them to do. And he just never does well with a superstar heavy team. I mean, he had problems with Ed Reed. He had problems with Ray Lewis. He had problems with Terrell Suggs. Like he's never really had a good relationship with star players. And it's because he doesn't deal well with, people who give pushback. He wants a bunch of guys who just shut up and go out there and do what he says. And if all 53 guys buy into what John says, it works. But clearly all 53 guys do not buy into it. That's why it doesn't work. On top of that, you have guys like Mark Andrews, who, you sign him to an extension. I was pretty angry about that extension when it hit. You look at how it's broken down. It's really like a 1 year, $7 million extension. And then there's a lot of ways to get out from under that without a lot of dead cap. But, again, you put him on the field. We were told by a secret guest that Mark Andrews was an issue in the offense because he likes to freelance and freestyle a lot. And then you see on like that 4th and 2 play that he tries to catch a pass that's not to him. So, you continually see Mark Andrews in space that's not meant for him, fucking up routes, fucking up, spacing and things like that. You got your number 2 wide receiver afraid to break a nail, so he can't catch a 4-yard drag route to walk it in for a touchdown. I mean, you got Zay Flowers again, taking the human joystick a little bit too literally and jumps backwards every time he catches the fucking ball. You got 2 offensive guards that can't fucking block. You got Ronnie Stanley looks, he looks like a normal left tackle instead of, the all-pro cornerstone left tackle that you signed. Rogers solid. Linderbaum's undersized and gets manhandled every once in a while by bigger interior defensive linemen. Like, you don't put Patrick Ricard in enough in the run to, create holes and kind of, I don't even know what the right word is. Like, you have a 6th offensive lineman that you can deploy at any given time who can give you a little bit in terms of being like a pass catching threat. But the reality is that he exists to clean up the messes that your guards create, and you don't use him to his full advantage. For some fucking reason, they're addicted to putting Rasheen Ali into being a pass blocker. God. And to the point that, like, when you put him out on the field, it's going to be a pass play because he never gets running plays. Derrick Henry is an okay pass blocker for all intents and purposes. Like, you don't really expect your running back to do more than like chip a guy coming off the edge. You're not asking him to go out there and block like a team's number 1 edge guy. You're just asking him to come in and help a little bit. So I don't know. I feel like it's a fucking mess. Our entire team is a fucking mess because of coaching, because of play calling, and because of lack of execution. And at some point, like, they just got to get their heads out of their asses and figure it the fuck out. You got to win out. You win out. You still control your own destiny. I was wrong, which is rare for me, but I did not realize that if we went out and the Steelers went out, or the Steelers went out but lose to us, like, we have the tie break. Mm-hmm. So I guess, we still control our own destiny, but like, I'm not feeling very confident at the moment.
It's a rough road.
I don't know. We also have Jake here. Jake, nice to join us. Asshole.
Oh my God.
I can't hear Jake. I don't know if
What the fuck was that from Jake?
That was me. That was Jake.
I didn't hear a single thing coming out of his mouth.
Now Drew can't hear us.
Anybody else talking? Am I just like fucking
Yeah, I'm talking.
yapping?
Yeah, I'm talking.
Yeah, I'm talking.
Yeah, Grant.
I'm
Max
talking.
heard. Max
Good?
heard what the fuck came out.
Yeah, it was in the list for sure.
I think I see Grant talking, but
Can anybody
I'm not
hear me?
sure.
Right.
Yeah, I can,
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear everybody.
So it's just Drew.
I can
It's
only hear
just
Max
Drew.
now, so I don't know what the fuck's going on here.
It's the StreamYard.
Should I leave and come
That's
back?
because StreamYard wanted Drew to hear me specifically because I'm never here. I'm usually asleep at this hour, but I'm picking my kid up right now. So, yeah.
All right, Drew,
Fucking
can you
A.
All right,
hear?
somebody talk.
Can you hear anybody? Now?
Hello.
I can't hear shit.
Oh, now I can't
this-
hear Drew.
I
Yeah.
can only hear Max. This is fucking. Hold on.
What? The
I'm gonna leave
fuck?
and come back.
What the fuck?
Making
All right,
sound
well,
effects. Man.
how you feeling?
Look, I'm gonna put it like this. I think we're already 15 minutes or so in. I think it's a lot of fancy words to say that we knew this team wasn't gonna go far. Truth be told, the whole league right now for the vast majority of teams is pretty mediocre. Because I watched a shit ton of other non-Ravens football. I've not really felt like watching, but I've been so pissed off most Sundays that I'm stuck watching games in their totality. The fact of the matter is, it really doesn't matter what happens. I think it's a lot of fancy, nice words to say that we know that this team is outgrowing this coaching staff. I think we're overcomplicating and overthinking things. It doesn't even matter if we win it all at the end of a really shitty season, because at the end of the day, obviously Harbaugh and his coaching staff have lost touch. I mean, look at what happened with Belichick. Eventually, not saying Harbaugh is anywhere near Belichick at his peak, and we can argue back and forth what the Patriots' success, the reason for that was. At the end of the
But
day,
everybody has an expiration date.
no matter what, a team is going to outgrow the message, the mantra, and the scheme, and we're well past that point. A coach loses their touch at some point. I mean, Harbaugh can end up being a case of Billick, where he is essentially one and done as a head coach with one singular team. That's not for me to say, nor do I really particularly give a shit, because I don't give a fuck about any other teams in the league. What we saw on Sunday is the same thing we've seen for the past few years, where we can play perfectly. And granted, we did not play perfectly, but we can play as perfect as we can, but you can't overcome external factors. It doesn't really fucking matter. It just doesn't help that we're shooting ourselves in the foot. So it's bad on top of bad on top of bad. I'm still going to watch because I'm a sucker for pain. I'm just a fucking sadist.
Masochism,
I don't
baby.
know, Jake, what's the term for that?
It's masochism or sadism. Either one works.
He's probably
Although
talking, I can't
sadism,
hear him either.
Oh, here we go. Here he goes.
Long
He's
and short
going
of
off on a
it,
tangent.
I'm
He's gonna
already
start
over
talking
the
about-
season. I'm still going to
Satan-
watch whatever
yeah.
happens. At the end of the day, I'm not going to let it piss me off. I'm actually more pissed that we got flexed into a Sunday primetime game, because I'm going to wake up pissed the next morning instead of getting the rest of the night to drink it off. So, hey, look, it's life. I know I'm still going to miss football at the end of it all, but just end it now. Put us out of our misery. I'm not saying I want us to lose out, but I can't give a fuck. It's apathy now.
I hate being the positive guy, but like the AFC looks like shit this year.
Fucking
Oh, yeah,
mediocre.
most definitely. Yeah.
extremely.
If we beat the Patriots on primetime in Baltimore, like I will have enough confidence that this team can limp into the playoffs and make some noise, because the Patriots have been, the best team in the AFC. And if you beat them, then I feel like you got a shot against anybody. I mean, the Chiefs might not make the playoffs, and they would obviously be a threat. Like if
They
they're
are
there,
not making the playoffs.
yeah, I'm never going to say never until until they're mathematically eliminated. That's just, again, I learned my lesson a lot with that old Patriots dynasty of being like, oh, this is the year that they're going to die off, and then they'd go on a fucking crazy.
I'm
run
not
and
saying the
whatever.
Chiefs are dead in terms of like forever, but they're not making
But
the
this
playoffs
year-
this year. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, it does not look promising for them to make the playoffs. Again, the Bills look kind of like a mess. They might make it, they might not. They're, again, the Patriots having such a good record kind of gets rid of an easy path to the playoffs for the Bills.
Well, this
So-
year the Chiefs are kind of getting their own medicine against them. They're not getting the bounces. They're not getting the calls, and we're seeing the influx of that affected in the loss column.
Which is nice. It's nice to see things not go the Chiefs' way for once. I don't know. Again, like you look at this Ravens team, like before the year, if you went back and pulled old episodes of just us being like, we're bored talking about how good this Ravens team is going to be, because on paper they look great, and it's just not there on the field. There's no
The picture
They're
that's on
my
the
Super Bowl favorite.
The picture on the screen is all you need to know about the Ravens season.
Right. I mean, it's just, you live and die on. You are the Baltimore Ravens, and you are built on running the ball and playing defense and playing a hard-nosed style of football that, even if the other team's going to get some passes off, like their quarterback's going to take punishment. And if you're going to, stuff the run for the Ravens, like they're going to beat the fuck out of you, and they're going to have the run there at the fourth quarter because everybody's going to be tired and banged up. And they just don't play that style of football anymore. You've now
Because of our
become
guard play.
you've become a team that's defined by sloppy, undisciplined football, and that's not the Ravens way. That's not how we've ever done it, and that's not how you win in the NFL. It's really that simple. Like, they just don't do enough to win football games that they should win. They play down to competition every week. You allow guys like Marlon Humphrey to just fuck up your entire defense by not being able to play zone or not being able to cover somebody. You don't get to the quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is 48 years old and coming off of a fucking Achilles injury, and we couldn't fucking sack him.
He was scooting. Oh,
I mean,
shit, that's embarrassing.
Like, that rushing touchdown was the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, this is not young prime Aaron Rodgers. This is fucking old man, 86 ayahuasca trips in Aaron Rodgers, who, is going to retire and go host Jeopardy after this year. And, that guy's running in on you.
And I'm pretty sure I sent a text during the game and said something along the lines of, holy shit, our guards are so fucking bad we can't even run the ball. Because as soon as Derrick Henry gets the ball, one of them is blown off the ball completely. And he's going to try to make some fix.
In fairness, again, I watch a lot of shitty football this season. A lot of guards around the league suck. Yeah, there's a lot that are shitty that are better than Falele, but a lot of it, again, I go back to this, and I've said this for the past few years, when the union argued for less contact in the name of player safety in the offseason, you can't simulate a lot of the contact in blocking. You've got a lot of lost physicality that they're trying to make up for in the early part of the season. So everyone starts slow and rusty, and then that compounds. You're making mental mistakes now. Now you got guys who, quality players, not necessarily this season on the offensive line, but you got quality players getting hurt, shit like that. It's just a domino effect. Like, the game has been watered down and neutered, and we're seeing it in all phases and all aspects. You're seeing star players get hurt week in and week out at a higher clip than we have in most recent seasons. And you can argue this, that, and the other about player safety. But at the end of the day, we have a weak-ass players union. We've got shitty officiating. We've got a league that gives more of a fuck about parlays than it does about the integrity of the game and shit like that.
And playing games and fucking
you've got a lot of
Brazil
superstar personalities who really don't give a fuck about football and want to do other shit outside of football. So this is an old man yelling at clouds. I got a kid in college. I got gray hairs coming in. I got a fucking drinking problem probably. At the end of the day, I'm still going to watch this game because I'm a fucking idiot. But it's harder and harder for me to give a shit each week. So with that said, I'm out. That was my cameo appearance of the season. I gotta go because my daughter's staring bullets at me right now because I'm not letting her in the car yet.
That's fair.
Right.
Well, Max, it was nice. It was nice hearing from you for your one annual thing. If we win the Super Bowl, you got to come back though.
Maybe we'll see.
Look, I can tell you were wrong on everything.
There you go. Yeah. You get to tell me that I'm wrong again, and I will gladly eat that crow. So I appreciate it. All right, I'll see you guys.
All right, buddy.
Do we even talk about the likely debacle? Because I have thoughts on it, and I'm not sure they're the popular thoughts among the Ravens fans.
I said my piece.
To be honest, I don't know if that was a catch or not. I really don't care too much. I
think it was, but you can't let them knock the ball out of your hands, period.
Right. Well, you
Don't
get in
leave it
that
up to the
weird.
refs.
You get in that weird gray area of, if that play happened at the 20-yard line, that's not a catch because he didn't complete the catch. He didn't make a football move afterwards. Fine. But then when you're in the end zone, if he made that catch at the 1-yard line and his second step was breaking the plane of the end zone, that's also a touchdown because all that matters is having possession and crossing the goal line. And so if you make that catch in the middle of the end zone, you have to almost look at it like you've carried the ball in the end zone. To me, the way that I interpret the rule, the way that officiating crew interpreted the rule is different. And I don't think it was right. I think that their explanation was dog shit. I think that it was fucking ridiculous that it was called a touchdown on the field and then overturned on review. I also look at the way that Isaiah Likely reacted to that because live, I could get my wife down here to verify. I was like, this fucking moron dropped the ball because he didn't react like he scored a touchdown. So somewhere he knew that he didn't complete that catch. Whatever, we could argue till we're blue in the face of whether or not the refs fucked us over there. The reality is, like, fans are talking about, oh, Vegas made the call. That it was a 5.5 point spread. Baltimore was the favorite. Okay. If that touchdown happens or doesn't happen, it doesn't affect the spread. The Ravens are not covering the spread there. Okay.
Right.
Correct.
And the money line at kickoff was, I think Pittsburgh was plus 270. Okay. So you're telling me that Vegas made the call to pay 2.7 to 1 on any dollar put on, and the public money was on the Steelers at that point. So I'm not buying that. And my real issue with the entire thing is that just hold on to the ball, Isaiah. This becomes a moot point if you just complete the catch, hold on to the fucking ball.
It's a trend.
You do this dumb shit. You catch the ball away from your body, and you just fucking hold out there. Catch the ball, bring it in your body, secure the fucking ball. Like, it's really that simple. Our fucking wide receivers have horrific hands, and for whatever reason, drops are contagious with us. It never makes sense to me. I don't get it. But, one guy drops the ball, everybody drops the ball. There's no fucking, no consistency. There's no guy that steps up. And then you get after the fact, you get Harbaugh being like, oh, we want to get DeAndre Hopkins involved more. I'm great. Congratulations on wanting to get DeAndre Hopkins involved more. Just get him involved more. Stop telling me what you want to do and what you did wrong and, Monday morning quarterbacking in your fucking press conferences, and make a fucking change. Do something. Again, I feel like in the offseason we were repeating ourselves over and over again saying, this team's great on paper and we should win and blah, blah, blah. And now we're repeating ourselves like, yeah, this team's great on paper, but they don't fucking execute. They don't fucking execute because you have a moron in charge at head coach, and it just works its way down the line. You have ill-equipped defensive coordinator who's not ready to be a defensive coordinator, clearly not ready to call plays, clearly doesn't understand what the fuck he's doing. You have an offensive coordinator who calls plays that are, designed to have blocking hold for 4 seconds, and you have guards that can't hold blocks for 4 seconds. And you keep doing it over and over again. And that's where my beef with Todd is it's not so much the actual plays that he calls. And, I get the theory behind them, and they would make sense if your offensive line held up. But your offensive line never holds up. So you have to adjust to that. You're 14 weeks into the season at this point. You've played 14 fucking football games, or 13 football games. And, you can't figure out that Daniel Flaley sucks balls and Andrew Voorhees can't hold a fucking block. And they don't know how to pick up a stunt. And they get killed by a twist, like Grant says all the time. It happens every fucking game over and over again. And rather than adjusting to it, they're like, oh, they got him next time. Oh, we'll get him next week. We know what the problem is. We're going to fix it. And then they don't fucking fix it. They don't fucking do anything. It's infuriating. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. We have an insane coaching staff. They don't fucking adjust. They don't make changes at all. I don't get it.
Bad. So,
it would be crazy if any other franchise, if this was going on, wouldn't be a question that the coaching staff would be purged completely.
100%.
Right.
But we don't have an owner that does those things. We don't have a GM that's above our head coach. But my sentiment too on the catch itself, I said it when it happened that they weren't going to call it a catch. I said it wasn't a catch. It's incompletion because is it a catch theoretically? Yes, is a catch. Catches the ball, secures the ball, 2 steps in, boom, that's establishing a play. But when you're outside of the box, essentially, so if you're on the sidelines or you're in the end zone crossing the goal line, the rule changes, which is stupid. So there's too much gray area in what a catch is. Everybody says, I don't know what a catch is. But I knew that wasn't a catch because the ball comes out before his quote-unquote third step, and the third step is a thing. Maintain possession through the catch.
Grant, I'm not saying you're wrong on this, but the problem is exactly what you highlighted. Nobody knows what a catch is. And so you happen to be
including the refs.
Right. So you happen to be right. You happen to understand what the refs are going to see and call. But
but I think
they easily could have looked at it a different way and called that a catch. And I think that Pittsburgh fans would have been fucking livid. They'd have been like, that's a drop. A
lot of them were saying it was a catch.
But then, they were saying it was a catch because they won and they don't care.
It's kind of the same thing. Look at it this way. Somebody's running to the sideline. Boom, it's an out route on the sideline. They catch the ball. Great coverage. They secure 2 feet in bounds. They hit the ground. The ball moves. And they're like, oh, the ball moved. No catch. It's essentially the same thing what happened there. But like you said, hang on to the fucking football. Catch, secure. You catch it secure, it's not an issue. You don't have an issue getting a third foot down.
Yeah,
You're not
exactly.
fumbling the
Don't
ball.
leave it
But
up
you're
to the
about to
refs.
score a 45-yard touchdown. You have contact coming to you. You secure the football. At worst, you're first and goal at the 1 yard line. No, you fumble the fuck out of bounds. So like it becomes a thing with him with ball security. And if that's not being coached up at this point, with it, it's been a rising issue across the team, really. But that's the issue with the coaching staff is that we are ungodly one of the most undisciplined teams in football. And that's one of the most infuriating things to me is like the timely penalties, the not executing plays, dropping passes right off your chest on 3rd and 5 for a first down, dropping the ball down the field, not securing catches, not getting a full foot in bounds to continue a catch and score or whatever. It's just so much stupid little shit that starts at the top. And it means that, I'm not in their practices, but attention to detail must not be a thing.
And
And the
that
way they
entire
run indie drills, and when you specify indie drills, so for instance, with my backs, like we have a game plan for that week. I look at the game plan, the opposing defense that we're going against, what we're looking at within the run game of what to attack. And my indie drills that whole week are simulated around that concept and that game plan for that week. I think the Ravens just have a set account that they want to do, boundary field, but everything's consistently the same. So if I'm game planning and it's week 14, that's why we're not as effective now as we were the first 5 weeks because shit's not changed situationally. So as a
every
defensive coordinator, it's like,
This
boom,
comment,
I know what you're going to fucking do.
real quick, this comment from Naldo, I think I remember him saying he's from Argentina, which raises some questions about this comment.
No, that you're saying John Harbaugh's Pinochet?
Naldo's I'm not going to say what I'm going to do to Naldo at some point, just because if he bothers me about Michigan again. The best way that I could describe the Ravens is that if a game starts and stays completely on script and, the first quarter goes exactly how they plan and, they walk down the field and they score and then they get a stop and they score again, 99% of the time they're going to win the game. You know what I mean? If things happen as they plan, then the Ravens are fine. If they get punched in the mouth, they have no fucking idea what to do. And everything goes to shit. They start calling stupid plays. Lamar presses and plays hero ball. Defense looks lost, and they end up losing. And so, if they play a bunch of stupid fucking teams that don't understand what the Ravens are trying to do and are poorly prepared, then, yeah, I love the Ravens' chances. If the Ravens have to adjust to anything mid-game, I think they're fucked. And that's not a good place to be. And that's kind of proof that, the game is past your head coach by. That he can't adapt. That he can't.
But that's what goes back to what you said. I don't want to hear about getting DeAndre Hopkins involved. Get him fucking involved. Well, good coaches make those adjustments in game and get DeAndre Hopkins involved in the second, third, fourth quarter, whatever it is. But it goes back to what you said.
Or even just, fucking week to week make a change. Because you tell me, John sits in front of the fucking media every Monday and says the same fucking shit over and over again. I think the defense is right there, and we just need to make a few tweaks, and we're going to be sacking the quarterback like it's nobody's business, and our secondary is going to figure out coverages. And he says it every fucking week, and then every week we don't get pressure, and we fuck up some fucking basic zone coverage, okay? Then on offense, he's like, I think the offensive line is really coming together, and, next week's the big game, and they're going to be able to do it, and I have faith in my guys. And, we want to get DeAndre Hopkins involved, and we don't want to abandon the run, and we want to use Derrick Henry as a 3-down back. We don't want to fucking telegraph pass plays by putting Rasheen Ali out there. And then the next week comes, they get punched in the fucking mouth, and they revert back to the same dumb shit they've been doing all year. They don't, clearly he knows what's wrong. I mean, he's said it in multiple press conferences. They've admitted what the faults of their team are, but then they do nothing to fix it, and it's fucking infuriating. It does not make any sense to me.
No, we all know. And all we see is what we see on TV, and they're watching the shit and studying it all week long. So of course he knows what the fucking problems are. I just don't. How do you go week to week? You go into the next week and like you're saying, do the same shit over again. It
Arrogance.
blows my fucking mind.
Yeah,
We're-
arrogance, ego.
Yeah, we're 13 games into the season. What the fuck? This goddamn TV.
Yeah.
We're
It's
13 games into the season, and the same shit that's losing games, that was losing games early in the season, is losing games now. How do you keep doing that?
and then acting surprised that it
Right.
happens. Like John has that dumb fucking face at least twice a game of like, oh my
The
God, I
fucking-
can't believe this is happening. And it's like, it happens every
Face.
week, John. It happens every goddamn game. Every goddamn game you see Daniel Flaley get fucking blown off the line of scrimmage. You see him fall down and fuck up a play. You see a wide receiver drop a pass. You call a pass to Mark Andrews and he fucking tries to draw defensive pass interference instead of going after the ball. Like this shit continually happens over and over again, and then you act surprised by it. And it's like, sometimes I watch them and I'm like, am I fucking nuts? Like, have I just like imagined all this shit happening and like this is really the first time it's happening? It's fucking maddening. This is I forget what his Twitter ad is. I'll go retweet one of his tweets. He makes great videos about Daniel Flaley, who's the guy in our comments right now, exposing how fucking bad Daniel Flaley is. They make me laugh. He's the one who coined Falala. That's him. So big heavy hitter on Ravens Twitter. Fuck Daniel Flaley too. Yeah, and his mom Ruth. I bet you she's watching right now. I bet you she strikes me as the kind of person who would just be like stalking things, watching people hate on her kid.
I think I said this a while back on one of our episodes. This time next year, he's not going to be playing football. He's going to be trying out for World Wrestling Entertainment Wrestling. So he's going to be doing. They'll take tall, fat people and do something with them.
But he can't do what he's scripted to do. So I feel like he'd be a terrible wrestler. I don't watch wrestling because I'm not a 8-year-old.
They had a big fat dude way back in the day by the name of Viscera. All he had to do was just lay on people. I'll do that for sure.
Daniel Flaley can't even stand up for like 30 seconds, without falling over. So I don't fucking know.
What would his wrestling name be?
I don't know,
Big for
fucking
nothing?
fat piece of shit.
You know how bad you are when Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco are just
God.
fucking roasting you for 20 minutes.
Yeah,
It wasn't a throwaway comment either. It was legitimately 20 minutes straight of them just being like, he's always at the scene of the crime. He's big for no reason. This guy fucking
Just straight up.
sucks.
Hey, I recommend cutting you.
What did he say? Did he tell him to pick a struggle?
Yeah.
It's like, you can't be big and sorry.
Yeah.
You can't be big and sorry.
But that's brutal that you have those two drunk morons fucking on stream just killing you for 20 minutes. Like, I don't know, man. This team is just, it's taken years off. But this is usually the Red Sox job. Red Sox usually take years off my life by doing just incomprehensibly stupid things that cost them wins. And now the Ravens are like, oh, let's do that. And stop. Don't do that.
The funny thing would be next year, after if or when Harbaugh's let go, they bring in a new coaching staff and any of those reserves that were previously backing up Flaley and Voorhees get the starting role and they play better. That would be very funny because then that's clearly a John Harbaugh problem, not a lack of talent problem.
I think if John Harbaugh gets off this team, no matter who we bring in, I think you're going to see a big boost because it's time for an injection of youth in the leadership and a new face. And like I'm telling you, this team is not. We see it on paper. We've talked about how good it is on paper. It's the coaching staff across the board, and if we get somebody new in that has that new age feel to the game, that I'm telling you, this team is scary.
Am I allowed to get a little messy here?
Well, remember we haven't talked about that Reddit post.
All right, so this actually will I'll tie that in. We have some very dumb fans. Nitty Gritty 410 is probably like the leader of the retard contingent, I would call them. They have gone to the point where they hate EDC. And like it's all EDC's fault, and we can't draft trenches and same old tropes and same dumb shit that they say every week. But then you look at that was Keaton Mitchell's ex-girlfriend. I think confirmed at this point that she's the one who made that Reddit post talking about how at certain points like Lamar and other players have been done with John Harbaugh and want him fired. I forget what point 2 was. Matabike retired. I don't really want to talk about that, to be honest. I think that it's kind of fucked up that somebody's going to put that on a Reddit post to, like, get clout off of, calling somebody's retirement. Tyler Sperry, faggot. And then number 3 was the whole thing about, yeah, I'm glad everybody picked that one up.
Finally,
Yeah,
finally.
But that's another guy who, wanted clout off of somebody having to retire because they were hurt. So, I feel like that's loser shit. Let the guy announce it on his own terms. I think it's just kind of a cockbag move, to be honest. Number 3 was, players getting surgeries and it not being reported. That happens in every sport. That's not breaking news to anybody. If you're getting surgery and you're not missing practices or missing games, why would the team report it to the public? Because it's not necessary. It doesn't matter. And I forget what number 4 was.
The other one was that they had to start posting security guards on away trips.
Every team does.
Well, yeah, I know, but for the specific reason that guys were going out, staying out till 2-3 in the morning on the night before games.
Breaking news: you give a bunch of early 20s guys a ton of fucking money and fame, and they don't know how to behave. That's shocking to me. I never would have guessed that. So I felt like that was a whole bunch of nothing. But again, what it highlights to me is that John Harbaugh doesn't have control of the team. So, why is he here? Why do we continue to trot him out as head coach is really what it boils down to for me. And like I said, you have the moron contingent of Ravens Twitter that have, again, turned on EDC. I think it's because he's white. I think that's the, driving force for a lot of these fans is that it's a very, very race-based thing. It's the same people who will swear to you that Shedeur Sanders is like the greatest quarterback in NFL history and that Kevin Stefanski is somehow stifling his growth and, actively working against him. So you just look at, morons of that caliber and they're, they're the ones that are, oh God, we have Dev in the chat. This is Dev has found Jesus now. So he was a nature guy for a while. Then he became, I think he was a Packers fan for a week, and now he's a big Jesus guy. But I find the the man's going through it. Man's been going through it for a couple months now. I just I feel bad for him. My thoughts and prayers are with Dev and his mental health this time. Just get rid of John is really what it boils down to me. Is that is what is wrong with our team? Get him the fuck out of here, please. Like just one time, Steve, step in. Just get rid of him now. If you get rid of him now, Ravens win the Super Bowl, guaranteed. No matter who you put in as head coach, you could run a Twitter poll and whoever gets the most votes can be the head coach. Whatever Twitter user is going to be the head coach. Just stand on the fucking sideline and tell Lamar to do what he wants to do. There you go. Boom. We win. Fire the whole staff. Agreed. I mean, and I like Todd. Todd does a lot of good things, has done a lot of cool things with the offense, has kind of made, us less one-dimensional like we were under Roman. But, again, he's not without fault. And, yeah, Warhop has to go. I don't know. I feel like I'm just, beating the same drum over and over again. And that there's, it's just, it all comes down to John. And anybody who tells you otherwise is lying to you.
True.
Todd calls games like he's still in college. Well, I mean, you have a quarterback who, is a college-style offense quarterback, I guess, that he can kind of do everything. Like that he is the star of your team. And so I'm okay with putting the ball in Lamar's hands as much as possible and letting him make the decisions. But, again, you have to keep him upright. Like that's really the problem with the offense is that you can't keep him upright. And so it fucks up the entire offense.
Let's get some movement in the run game. Shit.
Let's just fucking do something different. Or, again, keep it simple and line up Ricard and just fucking 2 tight ends every play and just fucking run the ball up the middle every time.
Agreed. Do it. Not up the middle. Not up the middle. Run the
Not up
ball
the middle.
into space off the edge. Run it. They're running the ball up the middle. Why would
But
we do
in
that?
order-
Our
so
fucking
in-
guards suck.
In order to do that, okay, so if you fired everybody and you made me in charge today, I'm running Derrick Henry up the middle, 20 carries a game. They're going to collapse in to try to stop him, and then you got Keaton Mitchell as the speed guy on the outside. And you run some tosses out to him. You put Ricard on the field every fucking play. You stop throwing the ball to Rashad Bateman. You stop throwing the ball to Mark Andrews, and just see what fucking happens.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
by the way, glad Pete Mitchell's out of the doghouse from dumbass because he's very explosive and really good at football.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, God forbid he plays the first 8 games of the year, right? Like, yeah, that guy should have been getting benched for Rasheen Ali and fucking Justice Hill.
God, Justice Hill. I never want to see
No
his fucking face
shade to
again.
Justice Hill either, because I find Justice Hill to be in like the same situation as Daniel Falele, of like the coach puts him in a losing situation over and over again, and I
Him and
almost can't
Ali
get
are
mad
the
at Justice.
same person. Him and Ali
Yeah.
are the same player.
They are not guys who should be playing half of your snaps on offense. They just shouldn't, and for some reason they do, and it makes no fucking sense to me.
Third down backs that play special teams.
Right.
Yeah.
So now, finally tonight, for the third straight week, the Ravens are playing a division game, and for the second time in 3 weeks, they're playing the fucking Bengals. They both have an outside shot of winning the division. The Bengals are a little closer to life support now, but they both have an outside chance of doing it. So
I thought the Bengals were done. I didn't think that it was.
I mean,
not quite. They're
for
on
all
life
intents and
support.
purposes, they are. But yeah,
Yeah,
if they
they're on life
win this
support.
week, they have a very slim shot.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
But they're still going to be without T. Higgins probably because he's in the concussion protocol, and Trey Hendrickson's probably never going to play football for them again because he's getting surgery if I recall. But either way,
I don't blame him.
yeah. So he's not going to play for him anymore.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley just scored a touchdown. Good for him.
I don't
But
think
anyway-
it matters because I think right now we're a bad football team.
Yeah. But
We
either
are,
way,
and so
Dev
yeah,
agrees
I
with
mean,
you.
like Dev said, he doesn't want to go to the playoffs because the season's over. Like, I'm
I
just of
agree.
the mindset of get to the playoffs and maybe something crazy happens. I don't think that we're going to get a good enough draft pick where tanking matters to me. I don't think that there's any conceivable world where we go like 6-11 now. Like, I just don't think that we're going to go the rest of the season without winning a game.
No.
And you got to be in that 6-11
But I don't care
range.
about the draft pick. I care about John Harbaugh getting off my team, and if he makes the playoffs, then I think there's going to be a sentiment from Jody of, "Oh, he made the
With
playoffs.
Scotty.
He's still my coach."
which he shouldn't. I mean, the expectations coming into this year were basically Super Bowl. or
even
bust.
even
You
if we
fall
miss
short
the
of that.
playoffs, is he really gone? Like, I don't know, man. He's done more than
And
enough
I
over the
hate
years
saying
to get
it,
fired.
because look, I love the Ravens. I've been diehard for 26 years, and like this is it's like I love this team. Like I do. I'm a fan.
I just
But like
want
I'm
everybody.
so sick and tired of this fucking coaching staff and this team to where the point I'm like, holy shit. I'm catching myself saying, I hope we don't make the playoffs and this guy's fired. That's what it takes because the owner doesn't do what he's supposed to do. So now
Grant
we
a
have
front
to
runner?
kind of-
I don't know if anybody. I don't know if anybody
I
picked
want
up
this
on
guy
that.
off my fucking team.
I don't know. Grant's like, I've only, this is year 30 for the Ravens, and Grant's like, I've only been a fan for 26 years. Just so happens.
1999.
Oh yeah, conveniently 1999, 26 years
Yeah,
ago.
actually, I went to my first game when I was 13. It was that season. It was the second game of the season, I think. It was against the Bengals.
You were like 25 in
wanted to-
1999. Don't lie. Don't
You're
lie.
full of shit. But I wanted to go see the Bengals because I wanted to see Peter work. It was Peter Work's rookie season, and he played at the bank, and that was my first game I ever went to.
Peter Warwick from the Bengals.
Yeah, his rookie year.
Oh, interesting. So you became a Ravens fan to watch a Bengals player. That's
No, I like
interesting.
Peter Work. I was 13, dummy.
See how easy I could. This is just this is not
to get back on task
putting
here.
a lot of bad tape out there.
Jake's trying to
get
keep
back
this
on
thing-
task here.
This thing moving in the right direction.
Just a bit now. We're talking about the Bengals.
Grant,
but
don't give me
not shut the
fucking
fuck
ammo.
up. Not shut the fuck up. Not shut the fuck up. We have a game with them on Sunday. So, boys, uniform combos, scores, bold predictions. What do we have? Grant, since this is the first time I've talked to you in a number of weeks, first things first, I'm glad you found time out of your practice schedule from practicing with the Minnesota Vikings. Because I saw you on the field in week 9, you son of a bitch. Fucking rushing the quarterback. I don't appreciate that. You're tackling the wrong purple team. Number 2, what's your score for Sunday? And uniform combination.
Yeah, I don't even know if I want to give a score because it's not in our favor.
It's fine. I may or may
Do
not
it.
go in that direction.
27-21 Bengals.
What's the
And
uniform combination?
this is the first time I've ever not picked the Ravens on this show.
Welcome to the club.
I think we go white jersey, purple pants because I think they try to get back in the good graces of the fans, and they know we like the purple pants.
All right. Drew.
Bold prediction.
Yeah, give me a bold prediction, Grant.
Bold prediction.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna say Charlie Kohler scores a touchdown.
All right, I'll take it.
I don't know if that's all that bold, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm with Grant. I think white purple is the jersey combo. I guess it could be white black, but I feel like Bengals wear black at home, so we like to not match colors with the opposing team if possible. So I think we're gonna go white purple. I'm gonna go 31-20 Ravens. Bold prediction. This seems like a Mark Andrews 2-touchdown game. Because I've been shit talking him all week. He sucked last week. I feel like this is a Mark Andrews 2-touchdown kind of performance. So I'm gonna go with that.
I actually like that. I'm close there with you, but you know what? Because I think they're gonna wear a certain uniform combination week 16 next week, I'm gonna go alt white. And I'm still picking a Ravens win just because I like to be wrong, I guess. I don't fucking know. But
That's fair.
But I'm picking the Ravens 28-27. I'm taking a Pat Ricard touchdown and give me a Pat Ricard touchdown and give me a fucking Charlie Kohler touchdown as well.
All right, I like it. I like the Ricard. I like the Ricard choice.
We're due for one. He gets one a year. It's time.
Yeah, and this year was a short year, so he's only got a couple more weeks to put one in. So
That's right. All right, well, saving the man, the myth, the legend for last.
I need you to
Because you're
repeat what
uniform
you
man.
said. Can you hear me?
yeah,
Yes, I can.
No,
Jake,
I
what was your
picked all white, and I picked Ravens 28, Bengals 27.
28-27? And you said Kohler and who?
Ricard.
Pat Ricard.
Okay. All right. I got Drew, did you do white purple?
Yeah,
Okay, I figured you would. White purple from me too. That's clearly the one they're gonna wear, I think. And then score 38-30 Ravens. Bold prediction. Mike Green 2 sacks. I'll do it this week.
There you go. Alternating, baby.
not even gonna
Yeah.
lie. I thought about doing that. I was either gonna do Mike Green 2 sacks or Wiggins 2 picks, and I went with Kohler TD. I didn't want
We
to
should get to the quarterback against this team. They have a terrible offensive line.
yeah, fucking
Yeah.
foxtail butt plug guy being their anchor on the offensive line is concerning for the Bengals. But
Shit, he looks like Jonathan Ogden compared to 77.
well, yeah, I mean that's like being like the tallest midget, or
Or the smartest kid with Down syndrome.
Yeah, I wasn't going to go there. I was thinking, the best athlete
Hey,
at the Special Olympics, but
That's fair too. Hey, man, I just want to take that quote from that movie, Waiting.
fair.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
There it
I feel
is.
like we could sit here for hours and just complain about shit that this team does wrong, but like it's put up or shut up time for real. Like there's no next week. Next week's over. You're here. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
win or go home. It's done. No more fucking around. No more stupid shit. Just fucking win.
Yep, just get it done. This is now or never. If not, then fucking call it a wrap. Start your vacation, whatever. But meanwhile, before I do the outro, any final thoughts from old Grant and Will?
No, I'm just,
No.
I'm hoping
All right.
reverse psychology works.
I like it. Reverse jinxing. I support
Grant,
that.
you have to. If we win this week, you have to be on every week. Like there's no excuses. You have to show your face on every podcast till the end of the year.
Yes.
So-
I agree. I
You know.
agree.
And you have to pick the other team to win, and you have to keep doing that.
That's unprecedented. I don't think that's ever happened.
I've never
Grant
done it.
hasn't,
I've never
I
even
have.
thought of done it. That's how pissed off John Harbaugh has me right now.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we've had guests pick against the Ravens, but they were also fans of like the team we were playing. So
Right.
I don't
I'm
know if
sure
they-
I'm sure VD has done it.
Yeah,
Oh,
and, like,
yeah, definitely.
Gab has picked the Browns before, obviously. But
I don't know
like,
if she
again,
has. I feel like
No,
she
she
picks the
hasn't.
Ravens every time.
Yeah, because
Maybe.
usually Deshaun Watson's their quarterback when she comes on, so she won't pick the Browns in that case.
Fair.
Yeah.
VD has definitely picked against the Ravens on multiple occasions, but again, that's VD, so like that's not.
Yeah,
I'm surprised he didn't show up in the chat tonight.
Yeah,
to,
I'm
to,
missing you. We need to get him back on.
Bateman.
Yeah, well, I
That's
mean,
something.
Will's ghosted VD because Notre Dame didn't make the college football playoffs, and Will's very upset about that. Real shame. Real shame. Oh, we're not going to play a bowl game because you guys didn't put us in a 12-team playoff. Join a conference,
Oh.
pussies.
There it is.
North
Enjoy the
Carolina's
beef
trying to
O'Brady's
be in the
bowl.
Dude White's bowl.
Oh, you guys aren't playing in a bowl because you took your ball and went home and cried because you didn't get to, be in the playoffs.
Oh, you're gonna play fucking Northern
Texas.
Illinois.
We're playing Texas. It's a real football
that's
team.
that's gonna be a fucking great one.
Yeah, I agree. Two powerhouse programs, unlike Notre Dame, who was afraid to join a conference, bunch of fucking cowards. But what else is new?
There it is. So that's gonna do it for this week. We'll be back to discuss this, that, and the other, and hopefully a Ravens fucking victory. My name is Jake, and it's time for me to die.
See ya!
Oh, right on fucking cue.